Well, all right now, I'm Hank Hessner, and this is Late to the Party. Now, let's get one thing clear right off the bat. There is absolutely nothing wrong with being late to the party, as long as you show up. And now that you're here, you're right on time. Now, with that being said, looks like we got somebody brand new at the door. Drum roll for Mr. Mark Zuckerberg.
Hey everyone.
Well, hello there, Mark. What brings you to the party?
I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that we have not had freedom of expression on Facebook and Instagram? Tell me more.
I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more.
And who would know this better than you, Mr. Mark? Because, man, you've dealt with them firsthand, haven't you? I mean, now that I think about it, the censorship on that Facebook several years, I feel like about a decade, man. And okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Carry on.
A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people.
They make mistakes because they were programmed by people who are mistaken. So with that being said, sounds about right to me. And even if it's just 1%, that's meant. Come on now, 1%, you're being super lenient. Let's talk about 50 at least, minimum. But anyway, carry on. Sorry to interrupt.
And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship.
Tell me about it.
The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US.
Hey, it looks like he's trying to bend the knee to the truth now, man. Fact checkers, looks like they weren't telling the truth now. Anyway, community note, shout out X on Twitter, Elon Musk, let's go now.
After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far.
You're right. Now let me tell you something, Mark. Listen here. The devil is inclusive. You get what I'm saying? God is not inclusive. You know what I mean? God told you straight up, the road to heaven is narrow and straight, and few will enter. So inclusivity is a trait of the devil. It is a bastion of his army, if you get what I'm saying, you know. And if you look how they act, they like to clump everybody together. You know, all them letters, the L's, the G, all that stuff like that. I ain't seen an S in there yet for straight, you know what I mean? And God has a sense of humor. You talk about narrow and straight. Few will enter. Not all of them. Anyway, let's go.
So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms.
And see, sorry to interrupt again, Mr. Mark, but the problem with censorship is that the truth will set you free. Even if it's an ugly truth. You get what I'm saying? Something that you don't want to hear, something that you don't like. You know what I mean? And to censor the truth, that means that we are held captive by something. You know, the lie. So in order for us to be free, you can't have censorship like this. You know what I mean? That's why the First Amendment, freedom of speech. You need to be able to say how you feel. Anything other than that is un-American. And I'm American through and through. You're going to have a problem in America if you try to get rid of freedom of speech, Mr. Mark Zuckerberg. And I appreciate it. Looks like you're bending the knee to the truth, and that's the only rule we have here at the party for the most part. You got to bend the knee to the truth.
We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations.
That's how it should be. Anyway.
And for lower-severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action.
The public square.
The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down.
Man, I know so many people who got their accounts taken down off of stories such as the Hunter Biden laptop, what was really going on January 6th, all the videos talking about Fed, all the people pointing out the people with the different color hats saying they're not one of us, get them out of here, literally pulling down people from the building. A lot of stuff going on with the COVID and all that, everybody just getting pulled. It was literally one narrative, but the difference was my people, they made so many different accounts that the word was getting out, but they're just getting pulled. So I wasn't held captive with the lie, you know what I mean? So I got to see the truth. So all the stuff that's coming out now is not, it's not a breath of fresh air. This is like 4-year-old stale information, and to hear it, to actually hear it, again, you got to say thank you to Elon Musk, because without Twitter, folks wouldn't have to bend the knee. He sees that X is getting a lot of traction with those community notes. The people actually like it because it is a source of truth. If you go to Facebook, it's bubblegum and fluff. It's not really true. The truth can't exist on these platforms. You know what I mean? They are literally they are murdering the truth. You know what I mean? I won't continue. Anyway, Mark, let's go.
Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again.
Of course.
So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas.
Oh my goodness.
As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there.
Mark Zuckerberg is bending the knee to the truth. Mark, you are late to the party, but as long as you show up, oh man, you are right on time, sir. Man, you want to talk about not just making America great again, they're talking about making Canada great again, the UK great again. Oh my goodness. I don't think he said Canada. He said the UK, but correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my goodness. See, this is what happens when you get your testosterone up. You know what I mean? You start shooting some guns. You start doing some combat sport. He's been hanging around with Dana White, and I'm like, okay, he's hanging around with Dana. If you cool enough to hang around with Dana, man, you just might be my type of guy. And yeah, man, he's actually a trained killer now with all the jujitsu, and physically, I mean, of course, he's been oh my goodness, killing countries with these censorship policies for a while. So digitally, he's been a killer on a massive scale. But man, the fact that he's doing this video one take, the actual title of this video had something like one take in it. Let me read it. Hold on. Media source. The name of this video is Single Take CS25 MZ Jan announcement version 9, and then you got the resolution of the video. But now I don't know if he's reading off a teleprompter, which I would assume so, but straight up one take, and you can tell his shoulders get a little bit more firm during this part of the video. And man, I am halfway. Well, I am surprised, but pleasantly surprised. But I saw this coming. You're hanging with Dana White. You can't be a pansy hanging with Dana White, going to the UFC events and all. You just can't do it. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's go, Mark. Let's go, Mark. Now, I'm not all peaches and roses and all that stuff now, but look, hey, if you bend the knee to the truth, that makes you my brother.
Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down.
And he knows that. The scale that he knows this on is monumental. His platform is blocking it. He can pull up these analytics. He knows this stuff. He has to operate with these countries. You know what I mean? They're sending him requests to do this. The Hunter Biden laptop was sent, the request was sent over by the FBI or whatever government agency said, hey, take this down. Don't allow them to share this. If you had the link and tried to share it, it pulled up nothing. You know what I mean? And folks were getting banned. You know what I mean? But oh my goodness, to hear this coming from this man, you don't know the half.
China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further.
Man, the last 4, that is a specific call out of the Biden presidency. That's man, this man is bold right now. He's making some serious enemies. And he's doing it with his shoulders broad. He knows exactly what he's doing, and he is bending the knee to the truth and the fighters for the truth. Man, this is impressive.
But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I'm excited to take it.
Man!
It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove.
It's a lot of illegal stuff.
But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice.
Man.
I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon. Hey, everyone.
Okay, wait, time out. That is actually, oh my goodness. I'm going to watch this video about 2-3 more times, see what I think about it. But, man, those aren't real tears coming to my eyes for the moment. It's just, wow. Who knows? But I don't feel nothing. But it's, man, the world that we lost. For me, it's a little bit different, you know, self-employed, famed country music singer, producer, songwriter from multiple genres and all that stuff like that. I move at the beat of my own drum. When COVID happened, I didn't even know, me and the wife didn't even know what was going on. We go outside, we're like, why are there no cars on the road? You know, we're not tapped in like that. Nobody tells us what to do. We did not wear masks. Now, granted, some places we had to go, they required masks to get in, and I had to do business there. So, man, I wore a mask just to get in and get out. But apart from that, I did not do that. I didn't go around people with no mask on. It's different, you know what I mean? I come from I'm kind of like a relic from the old world, just a little bit, because I really don't care. I'm not sensitive. I don't care about feelings. You know what I mean? I love freedom of speech. The best thing that you can tell somebody is the truth, because the truth sets you free. And what, you just want a bunch of captives out here? I thought slavery was bad. You want them in chains of the lie? No, man, give them the truth. And I just love it. And man, I'm watching the sentiment of people actually change, because this padded world that we live in isn't really real, and it doesn't exist without full, complete control over all media that we consume. Now, granted, the news is pretty much all taken away. You got a couple independent networks and a couple large, well, one that I know of that tries to get the truth out a little bit, but that's one out of all. You know what I mean? Now, when you had all social media in cahoots, that's where you can't say this, you can't say that. They were saying that because you're losing your job, you're losing your account, you're losing friends. So it was a whole thing. You couldn't say it. It was banned for real. We lost the free speech. And when you get one platform to break those walls of Jericho down, man, they all have to come crumbling. And look at this. Look at this. And the face that he has, it's a slight smile right now. You know what I mean? You it doesn't look like he's wavering. The only thing that I saw was the it was an afterthought. The illegality of certain things to get put on these networks. Now you know, freedom of speech does have small confines. You know what I mean? It has its parameters. And it's the same thing like with these certain uh platforms, man. You gotta have some type of parameter or policing on there, but he's saying it as an afterthought. It's not primarily like we have to make sure that no, man. He's like, yo, we have to make sure that this speech is free, that you can freely express yourself however you see fit. And yeah, we'll have to deal with all the other stuff too, but that we have to make that freedom of expression return. You know what I mean? Freedom of expression is becoming great again, and man, it's a lot of craziness gonna happen in this year. I tell you what now, because uh, when he was about to get kicked out completely, it will scream, it will kick, it will fight its heart out because it knows that when the light comes on, it's got to get behind something or somebody. You know, it's got to hide. It can't exist in the light. You know what I mean? And it tries to fight to keep us all blinded. Therefore, it can be in the light, which is really, you know, we'll get to that another time. But anyway, man, Mark Zuckerberg, it was interesting to have you come to the door. And normally I don't open up the door to the party and say, come right in. Now, granted, if you do come in, you have to bend the knee to the truth. And as long as you do that, I don't mind you showing up to the party. You know what I mean? Yeah. Wow, that is impressive. Man, that is impressive. Oh my goodness, that is impressive. Do you understand that is all of Earth except uh, TikTok land? On a global status, you've got Trump, president elect, in direct cahoots with the number one freedom of speech platform on earth, X.com. And then you have, I mean, that is the public square. That is where we go for discourse. You know what I mean? Now you have Facebook and Instagram in one under this man in direct cahoots. The only other big player for real. I mean, you got shout out to the Rumbles of the world. I appreciate you, Rumble, Gab, Truth Social. You got all the other little things. But the massive one that has the people of Earth, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and X. If those are open, now we can't say too much with China and TikTok, but if you get all, I mean, oh my goodness, the truth gets to exist here. That's where people are. They live in these devices in their hands, these supercomputers in their hand. They live there, and man, to have that land be as free as my heart, as free as America was designed to be, man, we are in for a like Trump said, a golden age. But get ready, because I tell you what, boy, this evil that had a full chokehold on the truth or on reality, the false reality, man, that means that they don't have no ground to stand on. That literally means the only dynasty that they have is legacy media. And who watches that? I mean, they're hemorrhaging numbers. You know what I mean? And that means that we're going to see something that we haven't seen in the past decade because our technology increased, but our humanity decreased. We lost our freedom. You know what I mean? It was this weird, retarded nonsense that you had to say, you had to do if you wanted to exist on these platforms. Now they're telling you that you can be you on these platforms. Oh my goodness. Ain't no telling what we about to see, but oh my goodness. It's gonna be oh my goodness. Well, anyway, that's all we got for today. And yeah, man, like I said, there is absolutely nothing wrong with being late to the party. As long as you show up. And Mark Zuckerberg, since you're here, I mean, technically you're right on time, because there's no better time to do it. But yeah, I won't even hold the past against you. You know, you're forgiven if you do what you say. I won't hold it against you. Um, but the truth will set you free. If you're lying right now, then you know, you're still captive. And well wishes to everybody watching these videos. Y'all have a lovely day.